Hello, how are you? Today I brought a really wonderful recipe for you if you have difficulties with bloating, slow bowels, sluggish digestion, constipation, or irregularity. And you're looking for a concentrated, powerful, tasty, and natural way to add healthy ingredients to your gut to help your body function better overall. You're going to love this recipe because it's delicious and very easy to consume. Stay until the end, you won't want to miss it. Let's get started with our recipe. Just a reminder, the ingredients, along with their quantities and the nutritional information, as always, will be down below in the description. I have boiling water here, and before anything else, I'm going to make a tea so we can continue with our recipe afterwards. The first ingredient I'm going to add here to make our tea is lemon balm, or melissa. I don't know what you call it in the region where you live. It has a very interesting ability to improve our digestive process, to eliminate gas, relieve pain, and even cramps, whether intestinal or menstrual. So any kind of pain or discomfort in the abdominal area and excess gas, which is sometimes produced by people who suffer from a lot of constipation because the stool stays there and ferments, this will help with that. Another ingredient I'm going to add here is mint or spearmint. Spearmint also really helps with the digestive process, helps eliminate gas, helps relax the muscles of the intestine a bit, and relieves intestinal pain and cramps you might be feeling, which sometimes people with constipation also experience a lot. And I'm also going to add chopped ginger here. It might look like a lot, but it isn't because we're going to make a large batch of our recipe here. Ginger also really helps with gas issues. We call it a natural antispasmodic. It helps relax the intestine and helps eliminate excess gas. So all of this here will help you feel more comfortable in your daily life. This water was boiling, so I'm going to cover it here. I'll wait about 15 minutes to let it infuse. If you prefer, you can use ground ginger. If you don't like ginger or don't want to use it for any reason, you can leave it out without any problem. We'll be back soon with this tea ready, so we can move on to the second step. I'll be right back. While our tea is infusing, I'm going to save some time and get my unflavored, colorless, sugar-free gelatin, just plain gelatin. Just a reminder, gelatin is a great source of collagen. It's basically cooked collagen itself. Now I'm going to hydrate our gelatin here with hot water. Since I stopped to talk to you, my water isn't super hot anymore, so I'll probably have to melt this gelatin to make sure it dissolves well. You have the option to do this in the microwave or in a double boiler. We never put gelatin directly on the stove because it will denature. So, first I'm going to hydrate it here, and then if it doesn't dissolve well, which I don't think it will, I'll melt it and come back to show you. Hold on. Look, I dissolved it so you can see how it should be. It's really hot, as you can see, because I heated it up. Let's set this aside for a bit because our tea has already infused. Let's strain this mixture into my blender cup. You can use whatever you like. This blender of mine is called a mini blender or a personal blender. You can buy whichever one you have in your city or just use your regular blender because they all do the same thing. I only have this one because I love it. I think it's more practical. So let's strain our tea here, look. And now I'm going to blend it with some other ingredients to help your digestion even more. The first one is papaya, which has a large amount of soluble fiber, a classic. It's one of those foods we already know are good for the gut, that are healthy, and help eliminate stool because of the soluble fibers, which hydrate our intestines, attract more water, and make it easier to pass stool. So I'm going to add our papaya here. When you make this recipe, tell me in the comments how it turned out. I'd love to know. Let's keep adding things here. Another ingredient I'm going to add here is also a classic choice for keeping our gut healthy, which is prunes. These little fruits are not only delicious, but also packed with beneficial fiber, making them an excellent ally for digestion. It's really quite common for us to use them in teas, recipes, and even homemade jams to support gut health and keep everything working smoothly. So prunes are included here, and we're going to blend all of this together. I'm going to add chia as well, since it's a great source of fiber, omega-3 precursors, and healthy fats. These tiny seeds help keep you full for longer, support digestion, and contribute to overall heart health. These fibers will also be present in the intestines to stimulate the stool to be evacuated, and the fat helps to moisten the stool more, because sometimes the stool has been sitting there for a long time, and when the person finally goes to the bathroom, it can even hurt a little. And when we manage to moisten it with healthy fats, passing the stool ends up being easier. I'm going to add a little water here so we can blend it, just to top it off. Remember, all the quantities are listed down below. And let's blend all of this first. The gelatin hasn't gone in yet. It's right here on the side. Just wait a bit. Let's blend it well because we don't want to strain it, of course. Look, I've blended it well here. Blend it in your blender at home until everything is mixed together. Let me show you that it's well blended. Look. See? It turned into like a puree. You're not going to strain this, of course, because we want all those fibers. If we strain it, we lose them. And you don't even need to. If you blend it well, you'll see it turns into a puree. It's really easy. Here I have the gelatin, so now we add it in. I didn't add the gelatin before because otherwise it would get too foamy and you'd have to wait a long time before putting it in the fridge, which wastes time. So if you do it in this order, it's much easier. Let's blend it here just to mix it. You'll see. That's it. You don't need to blend it any more than that. We just want to mix it. Here I have a baking dish, but you can use whatever you have. It doesn't necessarily have to be glass. Whatever you have to put it in, you can use. I greased it a little with coconut oil, just to make sure it will come out easily later. And now we pour in our mixture. I'm going to scrape it well and put it in the fridge so it can set. In a bit, I'll come back to show you how it turned out, cut it, tell you how long it took to chill, and talk about how to serve it. Hang on. Look, after about 2 or 3 hours in the fridge, it gets really firm. I'll cut it so you can see how I do it. Here's my plan. I want 16 pieces, so I'm going to cut it roughly in half. Then I'll cut this half in half and this half in half, turn it and do half and half again, so I end up with about 16 similar sized pieces. I'll be right back to show you how it turned out and talk about the amount of fiber and all those things you want to know. Look, there are only 11 here, but there are 5 more over there because they didn't all fit on the plate. It made 16 pieces, just like I told you. As always, I'll put the amount of fiber, calories, carbs, and protein per square down in the description. That way, you can adjust according to your needs and preferences. Have 2 or 3, less or more, depending on the rest of your diet, the amount of water you drink throughout the day, your personal needs. It's very individualized, but this gives you an average to follow. I want to show you what it looks like. I'm going to try a piece now. See you next time. Bye.